asking a lot, you guys, but hunker it down one more time.
Let me get a go, Dawg.
Go, Dawg!
Welcome, Dawg Nation, to the Hunker Down podcast, the home for real Georgia football conversation built by fans who live this game and breathe the program. I'm Ryan.
Yeah, man, and I'm Matt. Man, we're so excited to be here. We cannot wait to get this podcast started. We're so excited to have you guys with us. Um, we're just regular day Georgia football fans, and again, I'm Matt. We're glad you're here with us as we break down everything happening in the world of Georgia football. I mean, the Dogs is in our heart, and the landscape of Georgia football and college football is what we're going to talk about as a whole. So there we go, baby.
Why we created this podcast? It's one simple reason. College football is unlike anything else. It's a passion, and it goes all the way down to the rivalries. Every Saturday morning tradition. The energy of the seasons. Where everything can happen on any given Saturday, and college football is just something we can always look forward to throughout the week. And it's just got so much energy to it, and it's exciting to watch.
You know it, man. I tell you what, every week, from Sunday to Friday, I'm waiting for Saturday to come. I cannot wait to see my Dogs on that field. I love college football. It's the emotion, it's the history. It just like I said, it's the buildup of all week and the explosion of intensity on game day. And for programs like Georgia, that culture runs deep, baby. The standard is high. We rebuild every year. No, I'm sorry. We don't rebuild, we re-up. And the expectations are real and the pride is unmatched, baby. Come on, Ryan, tell me what you got. What we focused on? Why are we focused on Georgia?
Georgia football, it represents excellence, and it's not just in the talent, but it's in the discipline, the identity, the tradition. This program, it's built on something special, a mentality that shows up every single season, every single game, every single snap of football. I've been a fan of Georgia my whole life, waking up on Saturdays and watching game day, with dad and just watching, Coach Corso, all those guys that were the forefront for the sport. It's made me who I am today. And the reason why I chose Georgia, my dad grew up in South Georgia. You grew up in South Georgia, and that's just kind of where I got my Georgia fan from, or being a Georgia fan. And so this podcast, it isn't just for Dawg fans, though. It's for anybody who loves college football. And we're just two normal guys who love the sport, and we're so excited to be doing something like this.
You know it, baby. And for those that don't know, what's your mama a fan of?
Tennessee Volunteers.
Tennessee Volunteers. You know it. Hey, it's all about college football, man. Georgia is a program like any other, and that's why we become to love it. Georgia, you understand the commitment it takes to stay at the top, the relentless recruiting, the development of players. I'm gonna tell you the preparation and the expectation that Kirby puts on those guys every week to compete for championships year after year. That's the heartbeat of this podcast, man. That's what we're talking about. That's what drives us every year to keep coming back to those Georgia Bulldogs, man. I'm so glad you remember that year, Ryan, when we went to G Day? It was Kirby Smart's first year, and how excited we was for the new change and what was coming to Georgia. And look where we are from there to now. I mean, it's from night and day. We all love Coach Rick. We all love Coach Rick. But you got to admit, when Kirby Smart came aboard, it's been a game changer for UGA, and it's just awesome to be part of the ride, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to kind of cover what this podcast is going to entail, what we're going to cover. Every episode we're going to be diving in deep to these games and game previews, honest post game analysis, key matchups. Standout performances. We're going to look at who is standing out in this league and in the SEC or the ACC or the Big Ten. So we're going to be diving into these topics and covering these games that we really feel that will change the college football playoff in the end. I know we're getting a late start on the season, with 2 games left in the regular season, but as of late, Georgia is hitting their stride. They're hitting, when they need to be. We got Charlotte coming up. This coming week, and then we have a big game in Atlanta in Mercedes-Benz Stadium against Georgia Tech. Clean, old-fashioned hate. So super excited about that. But we're just going to be covering all these games, and as we get into the playoff and as we get into the conference championships, I think it's going to be awesome to cover this. And as we get ready for next season, getting this podcast going is important because we want to be able to grow this and to expand this, and so we decided to go ahead and start this. I know like I said, we're getting a late start into the season, but we want to go ahead and start the Hunker Down podcast.
Yeah, for sure. And I believe we just came back from an amazing weekend in Athens. We spent the weekend in Athens tailgating. We spent the weekend in Athens just enjoying ourselves. We got to go see one of the most amazing games this season in college football, which was Georgia versus Texas. And what an amazing experience that we all had being able to do that. And that's what drove us to really want to start doing this, is our love for college football. I'm going to tell you, man, there's times that we have actually pulled into a parking spot to where we could tailgate. And we got there at 1:00 in the morning and laid our chairs back in our truck and just put stuff up around the windows and just went to sleep. So we make sure we have a tailgating spot for the day. And that's the type of people you're talking to. That's the type of people you're looking at. That's how hardcore Georgia we are. We want to tailgate. We want to be in Athens all day long. I mean, we even look at the buses going by that say 100% electric, and the other person beside us will read something else on the bus and say 0 emissions. I mean, that's just us. We love it. This season we're going to bring you updates on recruiting, the transfer portal moves, depth chart changes, things of that nature. We're going to look at playoff implications and how Georgia stacks up against the rest of the SEC and the national picture. Our goal is to give you a clear, thoughtful, football-minded breakdown that you won't get anywhere else. And that's what we're looking for. We may not be fans of Alabama. We may not be fans of Ohio State. We may not be fans of Texas A&M, but we know those teams are out there, and what they do matter when it comes to the Georgia Bulldogs. So we got to look at those teams as well. We're going to look at those as well as the Georgia Bulldogs and see where we're at in the national picture. And hopefully at the end of the season, we're holding up that national championship, baby. Another one for Kirby.
Yes, sir.
Let's get 3 this year. Let's get 3 this year.
Hey, we're gonna bring the fire, passion, and energy that Kirby Smart talks about all the time. We want to bring the fire, the passion, the energy to every episode that we put out there to you guys. Wherever you're listening from, whether you grew up in Dog Nation or whether you're just a college football homer, you're joining a family, and that family is just two normal guys that love the sport, and we're honored to have you with us here at the Hunker Down podcast. So, Matt, you want to close us out here, and let's say go Dogs.
You know it. Go Dogs, baby. Hey, let me say a few things real quick before we go. We want this podcast to be for the entire Bulldog Nation. You know, I mean, we'll be responding to your thoughts, to your questions and your perspectives. This community is what makes Georgia football so powerful, and what we want your voice to be a part of this show. That's exactly what we want. But, baby, like we always say, go Dogs, baby. Go
Dogs.
Dogs. Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
I know I'm asking a lot, you guys, but hunker it down one more time.
Let me get a go, Dawg.
Go Dogs.